classics while inhaling the sour. Hard lessons from the ones corrupted by power. If I'ma die tomorrow, give me my flowers today. Can't relate to you cowards, cause y'all niggas betray your day ones like there's no loyalty in this shit. Depression tried to infiltrate my spirit, I dismiss it. Amid a different aura, I shine, nigga, consistent. Enrichment of my mind, and them secrets I decrypted, you heard?
What's going on, everybody? Now, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Can everybody hear me, please? If you can't hear me, if there's any issues, video, please let me know. This is my first time. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, man? Feeling good, feeling great. All right, listen. Disclaimer. I get paid for the attempt. There's no refund, so just sit tight. Shit's gonna be dope. If you don't like it, I got paid already. So we're good. Don't worry about that. All right. You know, I'm coming out here. This is kind of crazy for me to actually be doing. First, before I even get started, rest in peace, my brother Brian Gilbert. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. He's a catalyst that started this, so this is why I'm out here. Not to get morbid to start commenting. Have you ever thought about perspective? Like, is that paper? What's it called? Perspective. Is that paper? Okay, please. Yeah, 100%. I apologize. Like, I tried to remember the definition of perspective, but the reefers completely destroyed my memory. All right. So, have you ever thought about what perspective really is?
It says sound choppy.
From the phone?
From the phone?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me get everything together, guys.
I'll turn this one off. I don't know if that made a difference.
Am I good?
Actually, people. It's not me. He's saying it from the phone.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I want to make sure sound is good. All right, guys. Listen. So, perspective is a hell of a drug, right? We ever really thought about perspective? And like I said, I tried to remember the definition of perspective, but like I said, the reefers completely destroyed my memory. So, I looked at the definition of perspective, and there's two of them, right? And we have the one that nobody's really familiar with. It's the art of drawing a solid object on two-dimensional surface so that, damn, you can't write. So as to give the right impression of their height, weight, width, depth, position, in relation to each other when viewed from a particular point of view. I can read, she just can't write. Like, she really can't write, I promise. Right? And the one we're actually really familiar with is a particular attitude toward a way of regarding something or a point of view. I actually really like that first one, man. Like, when you actually have to look at things from every single angle, every width, every way you could even think of. Like, it'll really make us have an understanding of the other man, the other point of view, the thing we never take up because we're so self-centered. We only think about ourselves in everything we do. It's like, you ever took a child to the zoo? Like, have you ever seen the joy and elation that child has? Like, you've never seen anybody more fun to watch. The lions, tigers, and the Komodo dragons, right? I know y'all probably thought I was gonna say bears, but don't try to actually predict my jokes, right? This is some different shit I'm doing out here, all right? But I digress. You see that kid and that child is having the most fun in their life, right? And you're seeing that animal run around and growl and eat horrible food, and all you could think of, especially if you're a black person, I know for me, all I could think about is they used to put niggas in cages just like this. Like, that's just crazy. Like, and they used to do the same shit to us. We used to have a run and jump around, and they used to beat us if we didn't listen. They gave us horrible food. And you start looking at your own kids like they're like old white supremacists. Like, you're automatically triggered, you're ready to leave the zoo. It's crazy, right? Like, that's perspective. Like, something so similar like that. Something where both of you are experiencing the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And it's a complete different point of view. Like, you can completely see one thing two different ways, right? And sometimes perspective can help you understand a particular situation where you react probably negatively. This is a true story. True story. I have a friend of mine, she told me she was getting taken to Miami for Valentine's Day, right? So as she's talking to me, she's telling me that the person who's taking her, she said that she was thinking about not having sex with him while she went down there, right? So I immediately asked. I was like, all right, is he a nice guy? Like, is he like, is he somebody who treats you nice? He's a good guy, right? She said, absolutely, one of the nicest guys she's ever met. I was like, is he aggressive in any way, shape, or form, right? She says, absolutely not. He's never showed any aggression. So I said, okay. So he should only hit you about one time, right? So, and I said to her, listen, when he hits you that first time, right? All you have to do, relax, calm down, right? Say, look, I understand why you did that. Please don't do it again.
What?
Let's have a conversation. I promise you, you're gonna disarm him with how calm you really are. And I promise you guys will be able to have a clear, concise conversation. Now, normally, in a situation like that, and I'm not justifying that man hitting her in the face. What I'm saying is, there's a way to not get hit in the face the second time, right? And that should just be calm in that situation. You probably think, why would you be calm in that situation? Let's look at both perspectives there. That man took his money up and decided to pick you for Valentine's Day. Like, I don't really do that whole Valentine's Day thing. That's whatever you want to do. But I'm just saying, if I did that, if I'm picking you up, I'm gonna take a flight. I'm gonna pick my money. Like, come on. So I could have picked any girl in the world, right? Unlike women, we have options, right? I could have taken anybody. I picked you to go to Valentine's Day with, and you're gonna tell me after. You could have told me beforehand. After I fly there, you're gonna tell me that you're not gonna fornicate with me. Now, if you're a woman in that perspective, put yourself in that man's perspective. Like, think about it. If you had to take, there's nothing y'all hate more than spending money. I know that for a fact, all right? So put yourself in that man's perspective. You will understand why he would do that. Now, the reason why I asked if he's a good guy is because if he's not, I would have told her not to do it. The initial strike is something I felt she could have learned from. She didn't think it was gonna happen. I kid you not, she calls me a week later, true story. All right, true story. Calls me a week later, literally word for word tells me exactly what I said was gonna happen, right? Man hit her. She literally said exactly what I said. He calmed down immediately. They were able to articulate and understand both points of view. She was coming from a place where she didn't want to continue to have casual sex without meaning. He was coming from the perspective of, that's okay, but bitch, you could have told me that before I bought that ticket, right? Both of them were able to have 2 separate weekends, right? In each other's space. There was no more violence. Again, I'm not justifying him hitting that woman. All I'm saying is, perspective can help you understand how to diffuse a situation more so than escalate it. It's crazy, right? Like, when you look at that now, right? Has anybody ever put themselves in those shoes? You never put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? We never look at, more so women, we never look at the man's point of view. We don't. Yes, this is, I told you, if you get offended, just click out. I got paid already. I'm not even worried, all right? So, we never look at the man's point of view. Have we ever, right? Have we ever, one time, thought about how Rosa Parks' husband felt? Right? Hear me out. All right? Rosa Parks' husband, right? Think about what Rosa Parks did, all right? Rosa Parks started a civil movement by what? Details. What? What did she do? She told a white man no in the 60s, right? Like, that's crazy. And I know for a fact that she's been out with her husband and a white man talked crazy to her, right? Talk crazy to him, talk crazy to him. And he had to eat that, right? Like, he couldn't say shit. So now she's usurped that whole, like, she jumped the whole level. Like, he heard that, and all he could think to himself is, I'm not gonna be able to talk to this bitch ever again. Like, I can't tell her to do shit no more, right? Like, what am I able to tell her to do? Like, she's what, and I really want to know, like, honestly, what type of day did she have? Like, what type of day where you really sat down in that bus and said, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care what this white man said. I don't care who, I'm not getting up. Like, you had to have a day, right? You know, and it's crazy because, like, you never think about that. But I think if I'm Rosa Parks' husband and I hear that happen, right? Because it probably happened Monday. I don't know how the news worked back then. You probably heard about it Thursday. Because you know she came home and said shit about her day. All right? She didn't say shit about her day when she came home. Like, she started a whole movement. He didn't find out till 3 days later. But when he found out, he had to think to himself, she was coming home to start beating him. Because that's defiance in a whole nother, like, she said, my feet are worth more to me than my life right now. And I understand where she's coming from. Like, sometimes you really be that tired. But we never looked at the fear her husband really went through. We never understood that that man could have been the first black man who was really getting abused that way, right? Rosa Parks. This is no joke. I told people I was gonna tell this joke, and they literally said I didn't even think Rosa Parks had a husband. That's facts. Because when you think of Rosa Parks, you think of defiance. You don't think wife when you think that way, right? I'm just saying, it's perspective. There's so many things we can look at from perspective, right? When it comes to perspective, there's so many different perspectives that I feel like we never really address. Like black fathers with white moms. Yes, I'm going there. Black fathers, have you ever looked at your child's hair and said to yourself, man, maybe I should have did something different? You're not tired of seeing them 5 puffs? Imagine if you could have a talk with your child at a year and maybe about a year and a half, before they can really formulate their words. And every time that child has to look.
They said that it's saying there's only 4 minutes left. Okay.
It should be 40 minutes. All right. Imagine if they had to look at that child, right? Imagine that child looked at him and said, look, why'd you choose her, bro? When are we going to my grandmother's house, right? That's the only time my hair ever gets done correctly. I never look right. This bitch doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Like, why'd you pick her, right? I promise you that's what that young child said, right? Every time you roll that child's head up into that one puff, the child literally saying to you, yo, just let me rock the afro until Friday, right? I'm going to my grandmother's house, right? Maybe you guys would be a little bit more responsible. Maybe you understand, it's really detrimental to that child's growth, right? That child goes and sees all these other children's hair just done so nicely in the nicest of braids, right? And they just always have that fucked up afro or the 5 puffs all over the place. Come on, man, let's make better decisions. Think about other people than yourself when you're making your decisions. Think about your children, all right? Think about your spouse. Do we ever really think about our spouses? Do we really, really ever consider what our spouses are going through, how they feel? I don't think we do. If you have a spouse, partner, whatever pronoun you want to call whatever you have, I support it all, right? Shout out to the alphabet boys. But do we ever really consider our partner? I don't think we ever do, right? I think, what if and not in those corny ways, like, what if you could trade places with your partner, but like only in the most intimate situations, right? Like only in the most intimate situations. Like, what if you could trade places with your partner only during sex, right? I'm talking about. Did my shit just cut off on me?
So can you open up a new?
I was doing that whole little perspective thing. I think that's what I was on. I think I'm gonna hop back in there. Yeah, no, I already know. Yeah, I think I got it. I was, all right, let me get back in the pocket. Ready? Pocket's back. All right, so imagine if I don't think we ever actually consider our spouse, right? We never consider the other. And like I said, I'm only assuming you have a spouse. I don't know what your pronouns are. Like, I support it all, right? But consider the other partner. For argument's sakes, I'm gonna only talk to the heterosexuals because, like I said, I can only talk from perspective, and there's only been so many perspectives I can really give you, all right? Shout out to the alphabet boys. Now, imagine if you could only switch places with your partner in the most intimate of settings. I'm talking about you can only switch places with your partners during sex, right? Think about that. And let me explain what I mean. Like, I'm talking about you have your body, she has her body, right? Your mind goes into her body, right? And her mind goes into your body. Do we understand what I mean? All right? Good. All right? Now, just think about that. First of all, I know the question everybody's asking themselves, would you want to switch back? All right? Let's think about that, right? Would you really want to switch back? All right? Men, would you want, men are definitely going to want to switch back. I can almost guarantee that, because wait till you see where the joke goes. All right? Women are never switching back. Women are never switching back. They're loving their life, and you'll understand why. I think there'll be more of an appreciation for your partner, though. I promise you. In more ways than one, you can learn a lot about each other through sex, can't you? Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Right? I think you can learn a lot about each other through sex, right? That's if you are having sex. If you are celibate, more power to you. All right? I wish I could be you. All right? That's not Ray and nephew, I promise you. I thought about doing it though. All right? But So let's think about this, right? I think women would have a greater appreciation for men and understanding the anxiety we feel. Performance anxiety is a real thing, right? Right? You really got to go in there and you got to understand that you might get put in a group chat or two, right? So you really go in there really, really concerned about how you're going to perform, right? And I don't think women appreciate when a man's able to push through that type of pressure, right? And actually give an award-winning performance, right? I don't think it's ever appreciated, right? I think women would also understand why I'm gonna take a 4 after nap after I climax, right? It's tough, right? Maybe after your soul leaves your body and you need to take a 4-hour nap, you'll literally wake up and look at your partner and go, so that's what you go through? Right? I get it now, right? You're gonna look at him with more admiration when he sleeps peacefully, right? Because you've understood that peace, right? And women, you will understand why men are so smug when it comes to sex. Because you will understand the power of knowing, no matter how this goes, there's like a 97.3% chance I'm gonna come. Right? I'm pretty sure, like this could go terrible. I'm gonna find a way to finish, right? I'm gonna find a way to finish. And that is a different type of confidence to have. It makes you lazy. I'm just being real, it makes you lazy. It makes you lazy. And you will appreciate why that man's not giving his best, right? Because you know the type of energy that comes with, right? Men, you'll probably want to stop trying everything you see in the pornography with your spouse when you realize it's disrespectful. Like, a lot of shit's really disrespectful, and she does it because she loves you. She doesn't want to do it a lot of the times, guys, I promise you, right? And maybe, right? Maybe you'll stop doing weird things like fish hooking your woman, right? People are probably wondering, what is fish hooking, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Fish hooking, this is literally fish hooking. I've never done this allegedly, right? I've never done this allegedly, right? But I have friends who have done it, and they're on this, and they're watching right now, right? And they're gonna feel horrible about themselves when I show them what I'm talking about, right? So fish hooking is literally when you take your 2 fingers, right? And I think it's what is it, a talon? I actually Googled this and can't remember it at this particular point in time. But the 2 corners of your mouth, right? You're gonna take your fingers and you're gonna do this to a lady that, all right? That's actually very disrespectful, right? You're gonna do some shit like that to your lady. You're gonna stop wanting to do things like that to your woman because it feels disrespectful, right? Think about it this way. Just imagine, right? As your fellas, I'm talking to you, you're your woman, your wife is getting ready to mount you from behind, right? Right? I'm just saying, just think about this, right? Right? She places both her feet on the bed and she puts both her fingers into her mouth the exact same way I just demonstrated. She does this to you one time, you're sitting there like this, you're going to stop doing shit like that to her, bro, because you'll know what it feels like, right? Right? You'll understand why she's mad every time you go to sleep for 4 hours, right? Because unlike you, right? She's not guaranteed to come every time this happens, right? Listen, you will understand that a woman is a friggin' Rubik's Cube, right? And you need to put work to do that, right? And we don't appreciate that sometimes, right? I think you'll probably be a little bit more gentle, right? You'll probably be a little bit more compassionate to your lady, right? In everything, right? It's more of appreciation, right? When you're the one who's getting thrown against a wall, right? It just changes perspective, right? We're able to understand each other, right? You don't think that's the key to really actually understanding everything that people are going through? Is to be able to put the person's shoe on and really actually get a real perspective, like a real actual feeling of what that person feels when they're put in uncomfortable situations. That's really what it comes down to. We're too selfish, we're too self-centered, right? I feel like everybody has a perspective that's worth listening to, right? That's worth trying to understand, right? Everybody has one. All right, that's a lie, not everybody. I can't understand the perspective of old white men, Karens, and police officers. I'm just gonna put it out there, right? All right, not black police officers. I actually understand white police officers very well, right? It falls in line with the horrible child raising that you guys are having. You guys are that, honestly, I'm gonna digress from my point there. Let's be honest, that's the reason why white kids are killing their parents. It's bad upbringing, right? And who can blame them, right? Old white parents are not good people. Let's call it out. Let's just call it that way. Let's call it right there. Right? They're still racist. They have these old beliefs, and they're mad at their children because, gasp, they actually look at people for who they are. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Can you really blame them sometimes? Sometimes when I used to go to my white friend's house, because I did go to a white high school, and you would hear Timmy say some shit like, I'm gonna get that bitch. And you'd look at him like, bro, it's your mother, right? At this age, I firmly understand it. I completely understand it now. In fact, he probably should have got that bitch. He probably would have been at the Capitol building, right? The white kids are telling on their parents, right? Again, horrible child raising, right? Y'all tell your kids to snitch. They watch you sit there and look through windows all the time, just looking at tell on shit. And they feel like that's how they're supposed to live. And now it's backfiring on you. And I don't feel sorry for you at all, right? I don't understand your perspective. You're like the one perspective I just can't seem to understand. I've tried. Trust me, I've tried, right? But I've never had power. So it's hard for me. I digress. Perspective. Police officers, black police officers. The reason why I can't understand your perspective is because, unlike white children, we're raised and told not to tell on people, right? And yet you went and got a paycheck telling on people. What do you put on your W-2? I tell on people. I don't care if you find that funny. That's fucking funny to me. I'm sorry. That's hilarious to me. I'm sorry. I promise you. I feel like every police officer, they fill out a W-2. I tell on people. Like, all right, all that paperwork is just a fancy way to say I tell on people. I'm sorry. I just can't understand your perspective. And Karens. Karen, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. That's all I can say to y'all. I'm really asking you for the world. Just please, like, your opinion doesn't matter to anybody. I promise you. Nobody cares what you think anymore, right? You guys are literally lower than black people at this point, right? Nobody values you, yo. White men don't care about you. I promise you. Nobody likes you, all right? Please stop talking. I don't even have, like, a way to bring this back. Just really how I feel, and I feel like everybody feels like that. I even feel other Karens feel that way, all right? Y'all tired of yourselves. Just stop. Everybody else has a perspective you can respect, though. Don't you agree? You think that way? I think so. I think now people are going to go out here, we're going to stop fish hooking our wives, all right? All right, I think we're going to come out here and we're going to stop not appreciating the hard-working kings that our men are, right? I'm uplifting men on my platform. This is my platform. Log off now. Right? I'm not bringing it back for women. I'm sorry. Go watch somebody else. All right? No disrespect. I love y'all, but y'all get a lot of love already, man. So just listen, black men, we're not getting it right now. We're not. You don't like us. You don't like us. My perspective is too long. I need a whole other special video. All right? I think we're gonna really start to understand each other, though, guys. Just for real. Perspective really is a hell of a drug. I'm addicted to it because now I've actually started to accept a lot of things I never did, right? I never used to accept people for who they loved or who or what they believed because I was ignorant and thought that my perspective was the only thing that mattered. Once I opened my perspective and started taking that drug, right, it opened my horizons, and I'm hoping that can open your horizons too, right? Understand, right? Everybody's opinion matters, right? Everybody, whether you're black, gay, straight, Buddha, anything you believe in. Did I say Buddha? That's
yes.
Right. I said Buddha, didn't I? All right. I don't mean to be ignorant, but sometimes I can be. I honestly, that wasn't on purpose. That's coming off the top. But whatever you believe in, right? Whatever your religion, your perspective matters, except if you're white. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Yeah.